Welcome to amfAR's MSM Initiative. My name is Kent Klandera, and I'm the director of the MSM Initiative. And I'm here with my colleagues Kent Kozat and Ben Clapham. And we're going to tell you a little bit about what it takes to apply to the MSM Initiative here at amfAR and give you some ideas in terms of developing your proposals. Once again, the MSM Initiative is really focused on supporting community-based efforts, folks that are working within their communities to reduce the spread and impact of HIV amongst gay men, other men of sex with men, and transgendered people. And currently, we have funding available for projects in Africa. One unique thing about the MSM Initiative is this is a peer-reviewed process. So actually, we here at amfAR, we are not the decision makers on who gets funded and which proposals should be funded. We actually form a committee of people like you, people who are applying, people from communities, experts on MSM and transgender issues, to sit and look at all the proposals and decide. So what that means is we can help you. We can help you, give you feedback on your proposals. We can give you ideas on how to make the proposals stronger. So I encourage you to reach out to us, to send us an email, to give us a phone call if you have questions. A lot of what we're saying today are in the instructions, so make sure you read them. But a few things that we want to highlight from that. First of all, in the proposal, in the project narrative, when you're focusing on the background section, one thing that we think is really important is that you talk about how your project fits in with what other people are doing in your community or in your country. So make sure you talk a little bit about how this project is unique, how this project is part of a greater strategy. And another piece, in terms of the qualifications, it's very important. amfAR is working to fund LGBT or MSM leadership. And so we want to make sure that the projects that we're supporting have very strong, either they're run by MSM or LGBT people, or they're actually, it's talked about how those folks are involved in the development and the implementation of the projects. Okay?
Hello, I'm Ben Clapham. I'm the Monitoring and Evaluation Advisor. And as Kent said, this is a peer-based process. And we asked you guys for your input on what are priorities for this year's funding. And the top 3 responses that came back from you guys were structural interventions. So anything that's working to change what is in place already, working with healthcare providers on how to work with MSM and transgender people, doing programs that do microfinance to enable people in your community to become more independent and make money. A second priority was advocacy and communications-based programs that can develop materials or advocacy programs to address homophobia, stigma for people living with HIV, things like that. And the last priority that came out was care and support programs for MSM and transgender people living with HIV. So keep those in mind when you're developing your proposals. Another important aspect to the MSM Initiative and to amfAR is innovation. And innovation can mean different things depending on where you are, depending on the context. For certain areas of the world, innovation can mean doing peer educator programs where there is condom and lubricant distribution and basic information on prevention. But innovation can also mean working to talk about transphobia and homophobia in the media, or interventions that help MSM and transgender people gain the necessary skills to get jobs. So keep that in mind when you are developing your proposals, that innovation is very key and can help in the decision process. Kent?
Thanks. I'm the Director of Grants Administration here at amfAR, and so I get the job of telling you about some of the rules and some of the things you need to watch out for in preparing your application. Both Kent and Ben have already talked about various parts of the application, so you may be wondering, where do you get these applications? You download them from the RFP itself, which is posted online in French and Portuguese and in English, so you should be able to quickly find what it is you need. There are 2 things that you need to make sure that you download. One is the application forms, which is a Word document. The other is the budget form, which is an Excel spreadsheet file. And then the third thing are the instructions, which are really long but really important, and in all 3 languages. and they're a PDF file, and you get all of those right from the website. The other thing I wanted to highlight is eligibility. There are certain kinds of groups that we can fund, certain kind of groups that this particular program looks to fund specifically, and there's sort of a step-by-step analysis that we've provided for you so that you can look at whether or not you fit within our rules or within what we're looking for, and that's the first page of the application. So look at that really carefully, and there's some more information about that in the RFP itself, so I encourage you to read the entire RFP in whatever language you like. Application submissions can be in French or Portuguese or English. If French or Portuguese is your original language or your native language, please send your application in that language. But if you send it in French or Portuguese, we also need an English translation. You don't have to spend $1 million on it. Just go on the internet to some place like Google and use a translation engine for that. That helps us a lot know what it is that you're proposing. And the last thing to remember is the deadline, which is October 6th, 5 p.m. here in New York City. Please pay attention to that because we don't accept late applications.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck with your proposals. And once again, if you've got questions, don't be afraid to ask us. Send us an email, give us a phone call. Thanks.
Goodbye.